Big Papa Jock just announced a dry January. Is it another no spend December, or are we just raging and whining? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Now, Big Papa Jock, for anybody that doesn't know, is, an absolute kraken, right? I have been a spender, and I was, I was a whale compared to him, right? He's next level kraken. And in his latest video, he's calling, I don't know if it's in general for a no spend January or just, just for himself or whatnot. I haven't watched the video yet, so this is going to be my first reaction. Is he just raging, or is he really actually like on par with what he's calling for, what he's saying, right? And is he calling it for the community, or is he just calling it for himself? Let's take a look at the video and let's find out.
What's up, guys? Big Papa Jock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. It is so good to see you guys. It is 2025 officially as of when I am recording this video, and that matters because it's a little bit different video than normal that I do for Raid Shadow Legends. This is more of just a general announcement on something that I have decided in the last couple weeks that I'm going to put into place for at least the month of January, and that is I am not spending a single cent on Raid in the month of January whatsoever. I am happy.
Okay, so he's not calling for the masses, he's calling for himself. He's just announcing that he's not spending, which I'm sure he's going to go into, a little more detail in a couple of minutes here.
Having what we call a dry January, just in Raid and in spending. Now, I think it's hilarious to even announce something like this, and many of you would be like, who cares? Like, oh, you're not going to spend in Raid? Well, what does that matter to me?
Actually, there's a lot of people that are going to care, and there's a lot of people that will support this. I remember when Jay Giggs was calling for the No Dime December. I partook in that. I spent, I want to say it was close to like 3 months. All of December, January, and almost February that I didn't spend a single dime in Raid. Didn't even buy the monthly gem pack. Granted, again, it's a little different for me. I have an endgame account, so it's easier for me to kind of call that kind of stuff out and say I'm not going to spend, which Jock is kind of in the same place, right? The accounts are well developed, well outside of, the 90%. So for us to say we're not spending anymore, it's a little easier than for the masses.
And it's a weird thing to announce as a content creator, but the reason why I'm doing the video is I think it's important to understand the reasons why. And obviously for someone like me, whose content is almost exclusively focused on end game whale spending type stuff, it's a really big decision, and not something that I am doing lightly, because realistically it's going to hurt my content. It's the biggest reason why I spend in this game. My game,
I don't know if it's going to hurt your content, Jock. I view you like Ash, man. You have a great personality, a great, you're a great showman is what I'll say. Like, you bring so much more to the table than just the whale content, where I just, watching your live streams, watching your videos are enjoyable, are entertaining, right? Which can't be said for a lot of creators because it's literally just the same stuff over and over again. But you do bring a fresh, just kind of spin on things, right?
My content is endgame focused. Endgame requires money for the most part, at least to do all of the crazy stuff that you can do, and not spending hurts the channel, just straight up. In fact, this channel wouldn't even be where it is without spending. If I hadn't spent a boatload of cash on Raid, this channel basically doesn't exist, and many people wouldn't watch.
I don't think so.
So why am I not spending? Why am I actively choosing to potentially hurt my channel and not spend? Well, I've talked about this on live streams recently, because actually I haven't been spending for most of December either. But the biggest reason why is, guys, I am incredibly frustrated with where Raid is at and with the 2024 that Raid had. And that's not to say that there weren't.
I agree with that so much. The frustration level with what Raid, or Plarium, not Raid, Plarium has done to Raid is on next level this last year. so many things. You know, I've made my rant videos about him. I'm not going to get into every single one, but I agree with him. It was a good year for content that came out. We got a lot of it, but on the other side, it was like we had so much shit that went wrong. So much.
Good things in this year for Raid, there certainly were, and I'd like to do a video looking back, and hopefully I'll do that soon. But man, it just feels like the game is in a really painful, frustrating state. And if I continue to spend, especially as a large spender, I am enabling things to not get fixed.
So I just want to address that real quick, because it's tough for one person to kind of go out and do this and say, I'm not gonna spend anymore. It's great. The community is going to support that. I support that shit. I might even become part of this. But the problem is the YouTube community, the people that are going to watch these videos are so much smaller than everybody else out there. Like people that don't even, you know, you've got your Discord community, you have your Reddit community. People like that are not obviously watching some of these videos. Because I remember when the No Dime December happened, it felt big for the YouTube community, right? But I don't really know if that made a big enough dent in Plarium's pocket, because of, you know, what really did we get out of that next, right? What happened? I don't even remember, to be quite honest. And that was just last year. So it's definitely, you know, the inspiration is there. The motivation is there, but what will the end result be is I don't know. You know, maybe it's just better for him and his content, better to have more money in your pocket instead of Plarium's pocket, but yeah.
Revenue is high. There is less of an incentive for Plarium to fix the stuff that I want to see fixed and that I've asked to be fixed.
No, I don't think that's the case. Plarium is driven by their analytics. We all know this because they force us to do things in games such as Live Arena or Chimera or Hydra, right? By giving us those quests, and having that completionist mentality really sucks because you want to try to chase that stuff. So, well, he does make sense on this, and I really paused at like the wrong video for him. I'm sorry, Jock. While you do make some sense on this, brother, I don't feel that that's the only case. I think it's their analytics is their best way to show, you know, what we're happy and what we're not happy with.
And that other content creators have asked to be fixed or pointed out, in some cases for literal years, that I can't for the life of me understand why they haven't addressed, other than the fact that people continue to spend boatloads of money and they don't feel like they have to do anything about fixing these things. And you could name a million different stuff. You could look at the market and be like, why is the market the same basically that it was from years and years and years ago, and it's useless for end game players, for people who have been in the ecosystem for years? Why?
They did announce that, you know, that is going to get reworked, and they said that months ago. I feel like, honestly, it's something like just make an announcement and, you know, a week later put it in the game, implement it. Don't tell us this is something you're working on and give it to us 6 months down the line. Yeah, I agree there.
Why isn't this fixed? This is less than a week of time to do this.
Agreed.
Or you could look at the way that they've addressed Hydra. Like, they've unfortunately, this needed a fix because of how broken this team is, but the way they've chosen to go about it has been negative for the game. Or you could look at new content that's been introduced in the last year, like, for example, Siege, which should be an incredibly fun and awesome game mode and has so much potential, but is missing core features to make it something that people want to do. Like, for example, the ability to watch your clanmates do battles or replays or better in-game chat or a whole myriad of stuff. The tavern rework not being the way that it should, not being correctly redone. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on about stuff.
I'm gonna add one thing to this, and this is more because I built my Lady Noelle and I was playtesting. I was trying to come up with like a really good free-to-play team for like a 1-key Ultra Nightmare, and they were literally told inside of the test server that the A2 was not working properly, was not targeting Sir Nick when he was on the team. And they said, we're going to fix it, we're going to fix it, we're going to fix it. How long does it take to fix it, Plarium? How long? It really should not be taking weeks from the release of Lady Noelle and everybody getting her to you to fix it. Now, I did ask in content creator chat, and they told us that it's going to be within the next patch. Lord knows when the next patch is going to be, right? They've announced the, you know, whole Alice or Wonderland thing, whatever the hell they're going to call that. But we still have like 4 more weeks until the Skeletor event's done. So is it going to be another 4 weeks of us having to wait for us to be able to use Lady Noelle on a clan boss team? Like, that is one of the things that really pissed me off. And I was really holding back from making a rant video, but then I saw this and, you know, he's right. He's right.
That could be improved in this game. And here's the thing. It's not like they haven't made quality of life improvements over the last several years. They certainly have. But they have missed so much low-hanging fruit that needs to be fixed, and they seemingly don't intend to do anything about it, at least anytime in the near future. And that's because, and I'm as guilty of this as anybody else, people continue to spend.
No, I think they look for complex solutions. Again, it's all about their analytics. I remember Murder Inc. used to talk about the one thing this company cares about. They're going to make money, regardless of the fact. They are masters of monetization, but the one thing they really, really care about is their analytics. That's what drives every decision they make. The monetization is going to be there regardless. It's going to go up no matter what we do, right? As long as the servers are on. It's the analytics is what really drives this company and what they do. MTG is basically buying Plarium because of how they operate their analytics, how they go about their day-to-day stuff, and the longevity of the game. They stated that in their press release for the purchase.
Well, you know what? I am done spending for at least January because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of not seeing legitimately well thought out new game modes launched without game breaking bugs. For example, like Chimera, which is
that's another thing, is they were told, right, prior to Chimera being released, hey, this is a problem, you know, these relics are going to be an issue. Marius, he's a problem, guys, we're going to fix it. Don't release anything, don't tell anybody, we'll fix it before it goes live. It goes live and sure as shit, you know, without failure.
Brand new content piece that launched with stuff that made the entire clash unfair. And like, yes, you can go back and issue rewards after the fact, but my God.
Which they stated that they're going to do, and they're going to give us, I believe it was 2 relics. I've yet to see any relics, just saying. And we haven't been told what they're going to be or when we're going to get them. So maybe what'll happen is we'll forget about it and then we'll just never get them, right?
Can we stop shooting ourselves in the foot with new things that are supposed to get people excited about Raid? Can we please just launch something that has no game breaking bugs, especially in this case where they were pointed out before the game mode was even launched, and yet it was launched anyways. And the thing that frustrates me most about this is I know for a fact, from having played Raid for almost 4 years now and having followed the game and other content creators and the community and everything else, Plarium has a very talented team. They do. They have talented developers. They have extremely talented artists. They have incredible support staff. So what the hell is going wrong that it's not fully translating to the game's improvements? And it really just comes down to monetization. That's it. Whoever took over their monetization program in the last 2 years basically just said, screw it.
The last 2 years was when we got the new CEO. Which I think around that time, or actually it was like 6 months ago, 6 or 9 months ago, that they announced that Plarium may or may not be sold. So it could have been brought in, you know, this new CEO could have been brought in to fix the monetization side of it, to get it kind of ready for a nice little profit boost, right, to be sold.
We're gonna do everything possible in every game area possible to take more and more and more money out of our players' pockets. And hey, you know what? Kudos to them. They've been really successful at doing that, whether it was introducing mythicals.
I just want to go back there real quick.
Kudos to them. They've been really successful at doing that.
Okay. So no bash on Drock, but this is why, you know, he's comfortable, and I would be comfortable calling for us not spending, right? We're not talking about the masses. Everybody is an adult. You do what you want. But this is it, right? We are whales. We've spent in the game, and he's obviously spent a lot more than I have. But this is why he's able to do it, because honestly, at this point, his account doesn't need anything, right? What's it going to do? What's he going to do? Get some more pinpoint gear from the dungeon coming out? Get some more speed gear or savage gear? Honestly, keep chasing the things, and it doesn't really, you know, all you're going to do is keep going after the same things over and over and over again. And what it really comes down to is there's always going to be somebody out there with a bigger credit card than you, a bigger wallet. And is it really worth you chasing that, right? Again, not trying to call him out here, but this is one of the reasons why he's able to call this, because he's not part of the 90% or the 99% out there. He's part of that 1%. So am I, right? That spends heavily and is able to kind of say, you know what? I don't really need this, so I'm fine.
Whether it was introducing mythicals or soul stones or whatever else. And I fed into it. I am 100% guilty of this, as is everybody that has spent
Same here.
a single dollar in this game, because one, we love the game. Two, the excitement of opening shards and getting a champion or getting a great piece of gear.
That's one of the things right there, is the excitement of pulling a champion. Now, a lot of you are really only subscribed because of my shard pull videos. Like, the one thing I hear about is my shard pull reactions are genuine, are real, unfiltered, and that's what I look to deliver, right? I don't, you know, if something's trash, I'm gonna call it trash. If something's good, I'm gonna call it good. But I have a tendency to get super excited when something comes in, and I have a tendency to get super pissed when something comes bad. Now, with that in mind, though, I don't buy, or I haven't bought shards in a while. In the last, I want to say 6 months, I've probably bought twice, and all the shards that I did buy from that were not in a shard pull video. The shards that I do are on, I think I have like 6 or 7 alt accounts that I use to pull the shards on. So it's basically coming from Clan Boss. That's it. I don't buy the shards and then promote the videos with them, saying, you know, which I guess I could be a little hypocritical because I'm still doing the shard pulls, but I don't know, like I like doing the shard pulls. You guys like watching them, and sometimes it gives you the brutal truth of what not to do when you pull 180 ancients and can't get a single legendary on a 2x, right? So I am a little hypocritical in there, but again, I cannot say that I don't promote shard pulling, because I do so many shard pull videos, but I don't promote buying shards and pulling them. You know, obviously not everybody's doing the same thing. And again, I'm a content creator. So for me to do this, you know, I'm not making thousands of dollars off a video. Shit, I might be making $5 or $6 off a video. So it's not going to feed me. It's not going to do much. And most of that comes back anyways to doing giveaways to the community. But yeah, I agree with him. I agree. It's maybe I'll just start doing shard pull videos. I don't know.
Or whatever else. That's why we come back, right? And you could maybe say it's an addiction. I'm sure for many people it is. And certainly I think at some point for me it has been, even though I've spent less in the last year than I did the year before that. But I'm just tired.
And that's true for me as well too. Like 2024 was way less compared to what I was spending, you know, 2023, 2022, 2021. The spending that I had back then compared to what I have now, way lower per average.
Tired of stuff not getting fixed, and not getting fixed in a timely fashion.
It only gets fixed in a timely fashion when it affects Plarium's bottom line, right? Nogdar and Sand Devil, perfect example.
That's the thing that really drives me crazy. We've gotten what, like 20 champion buffs over the course of this year, maybe 25. That's not enough when you have a game that has 800 champions in it. We've
That is crazy. Like they're great at releasing new champions, which I guess is kind of one of those other things, right? Like what will be the purpose of us pulling shards and trying to get new champions, especially for the whales out there, right? Because they have that whole Supreme Club and they need those guys to keep spending to be able to pay everybody to continue putting this stuff up for the other players that are free to play or low spend. But it's definitely there's a happy medium there of what should happen.
Gotten cool features that are teased 4 months down the road. Like, please stop telling me about stuff you're going to do in 6 months and just start doing it now.
Right. I agreed with that so much. Why are you going to, like, who knows, between now and then I might just get bored with this game and leave. But if you don't keep me excited, if you don't keep me engaged in the what's going on right here right now, why would I stay? Right? Why would I stay? I know why I'm staying, but that could be something that is questioned towards, you know, everyone else coming in. Honestly, like just roll it out. You know, if you rolled out one improvement every month, I think everybody would be happy.
And a great example of this is how they handle polymorph, right? Of course, it's my pet issue. It's the thing that pisses me off most.
Drock, listen, polymorph just works fine, brother. It works fine.
About Raid, but they acknowledged it was an issue and took 6 months to fix it because they're trying to squeeze every single dollar out of people buying Soulstone. Again,
they're working on complex solutions, guys. That's their key thing, is complex solutions.
Well, enough is enough. And so for at least the month of January, I am doing the dry January. I'm not spending a cent on this game, whether it's on shards, whether it's on the pass, the Forge pass, whether it's on buying energy. And I happen to have a ton of energy saved from the last time I went crazy with it. So that's an advantage there. But I really,
again, and that's one of those reasons why he is able to do this. Now, is that saying that if he wasn't in this position, would he still call for it? Probably not. I think he'd still call for it because he definitely doesn't seem like somebody that is I don't see Drock shilling like, you know, I'm not going to spend and you shouldn't either because I'm unhappy. I think because he genuinely loves the game, and I do too. I feel like he's definitely, you know, even if he didn't have the account status that he has and he was just a minor spender, he would still do the same thing.
Really hope that Plarium sees this video and they don't take it as something meant to be like attacking them, because again, they have really talented people that have done great stuff, but just like,
I don't think they're going to take that as attacking, because when J-Gigs was calling for an outright just no spend December, it wasn't really an attack. Plarium didn't really kind of, hey guys, we know what's going on. We're asking you not to follow this, not to do this, We weren't even talked about it in content creator chat. It's not like we were told like you can't cover this. So I don't think that's going to be the case.
Please, in 2025, make it a point to prioritize quality of life stuff. I don't need 7 new champions every month or 2. I need the champions that are existed to be buffed in a reasonable fashion in a reasonable timeline. And I
agree. I think we don't need a fusion every single month. We really don't. Okay. We could go every other month with a fusion, every other month with 2, maybe 3 champion rebalances. And then, you know, you could introduce 1, maybe 2 new champions a month on top of that. But it definitely feels like you're just throwing a lot of champions out there, throwing the next thing. I mean, we got 5 new champions that are probably going to be coming out within the next patch for Alice in Wonderland type of situation. And let's be honest, like, it's really frustrating to see that kind of stuff happening while I have like a +4 Rosin Scarhide sitting in my vault who I can't touch because it's a 7-turn cooldown on the A3. Come on.
Also need the game mechanics in this game that don't work or that could be improved and make people want to play it more and spend more to actually be fixed. Like, where are the live arena improvements? Where's classic arena improvements or blind?
Agreed. Just stop holding on to those, features that you're trying to fix and just put them out there. Don't worry about releasing new content. Worry about actually bringing out content that is enjoyable right from the start, that is fixed the right way, that is brought out the right way, without any bugs, without anything. And that means test your shit. I know, guys, I'm getting a little frustrated here because he's definitely getting me worked up with what he's talking about, because I feel like what he's doing is what I would do, just in a much, much calmer tone.
I'm Platinum Arena. There are so many things that could be done to make Raid appeal to more players, to appeal more strongly to the current base, that are in the best interest of Plarium, because people will spend more, as well as in content creators like myself that have built essentially a business off of this game that Plarium just seemingly refuses to do. So that's where I'm at. No spending for January, guys. And look, I'm sure a lot of people watch this video and be like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? And if that's your reaction, totally valid, totally understand it. But if you're one of the people that is as frustrated as
I don't think that, again, there's going to be a lot of people that say that. I think there's going to be a lot of people that support you on this, Drock. And I feel like it came a day too late, guys. I will say this because they literally put out like a ridiculously good deal on energy, and I was looking at it, and a comment was made to me prior to watching this video, and I dropped $280, and I wish that I had watched this video prior to dropping that money, because I would have just said right from the start, like the day I'm recording this video, I think is the 2nd. So I'm like one day late to the party, but you know what? I support you, Jock, and I won't be spending. Unfortunately, I am doing a champion pass for somebody out there. So if that person who wins it doesn't want it, we'll figure something else out. But yeah, it's gonna be, I support you.
I am, with how things have gone this past year and the seeming lack of really listening to community and creator feedback and actually implementing the changes that everyone can agree are beneficial for the game. For some reason, desire not to do those things, the only way I can think of actually affecting positive change is to stop spending. And again,
analytics, Drock. Analytics, what they care about. Don't feed into the CVC. Don't feed into the Hydra Clash. Don't feed into the Chimera Clash. Just go in, get your 1 key, get out. That's what they're gonna pay attention to. And if the masses start doing that, I guarantee you that's what's gonna cause change. Or just not doing particular game modes and just playing the game to have fun.
And it's gonna hurt my account. It's gonna hurt my content creation. It certainly is not good for me on a business side of things from trying to grow my channel. But at some point you have to put your foot down and just say enough is enough. Enough is enough. And I won't continue to enable this kind of decision making. So if you feel the same way, I'd love to know in the comments down below. Are you considering maybe starting 2025 with a dry January yourself? Do you feel like maybe I'm overreacting? Do you agree with me that there are opportunities to make this game better, a game that I think so many of us are passionate about and love? And certainly nobody can question my passion for this game, whether it's been with my wallet or the time or the content creation or anything else. I have given an immense amount of attention to Raid over the last several years, and I would love for this game to reach its full potential, because I could argue that it hasn't even come close.
I agree with everything you just said there. Raid could be so much more, so big, right? I played World of Warcraft for years, and I feel like Raid could be at that level. There's just a lot of, like what you're saying, brother, a lot of things that need to change, and maybe the dry January might work. I'm not too hopeful. Not saying that, we shouldn't do it or it shouldn't be done. If you so choose to go out there and do it, so be it. I'm gonna support Drock in this, and I'm gonna do it. But I don't, I think their analytics is definitely something they care more about than anything else.
But it really depends on Plarium deciding that they want to prioritize the quality of life improvements that this game desperately needs. And look, Plarium, if you see this video, I really hope you don't take it personally. It's not meant to be an attack on you guys. It's just a passionate plea from a player who spent a lot of money in your ecosystem to improve the stuff that needs to be improved. And frankly, the thing that really kind of opened my eyes more than anything else, I haven't played another gacha game like Raid before, except for I think Age of Z, the zombies game, which is a very different genre. But I've never played a game like Raid prior to King Arthur that I really got invested in. And when I started playing King Arthur as part of their sponsorship deal, it opened my eyes to even more things that could be improved in Raid that for some reason in 5 years, almost 6 years now, have not been addressed. And the only...
So on that subject, let's talk about Raid and everybody else coming into the scene, right? Everybody else coming into the scene can start right from the fresh, right? Introducing all of these things that Raid needs, that the Raid community has been asking, and that's how they do it. I don't know coding wise or server wise or anything like that, what that means, what it means to implement something like this, right? But we got to remember that Raid is an old game. It has set the standard for a lot of these games that they will get to that point. If you think Watcher of Realms or King Arthur's Rise isn't going to get as money hungry as Plarium is, it is definitely going to do it. Plarium wasn't as bad in the start, but over time it happened. And I bet you guys, I will bet you that this will happen over time. I can almost guarantee it. Now, I agree with what he's saying. These other games that are coming out are implementing it, and Raid should, get ahead of it, because depending on, if another game comes in with the complexity and the visuals that Raid has in the same type of format, I literally could see myself hopping into a different game. As much as I love and I invested in Raid, if that game's already got what I want and it works in the similar way that Raid does, why would I stick around and spend money on here, right?
Only thing I can think of is they just make so much money that they don't need to worry about it. Well, hopefully this opens eyes, and if big spenders like me say, hey, enough is enough, even if it's only for a month or 2 months, I don't know how long I'm going to go. We'll see. Really depends on how my content gets affected by this, which is, I think, the hard thing about making this decision, as crazy as it sounds. I just want to see the game improve. That's it. I want to see the game that I love, that I got absolutely just fell in love with all those years ago off a sponsored stream of all things, become the game that I know it can be, because people give a lot of shit to Raid Shadow Legends, and you tell someone you're a Raid Shadow Legends content creator, they're like, the hell, that actually exists? Yeah, well, it does. Because at its core, this game is incredibly complex and deep and fun and challenging, and yeah, man, I just think it could be so much more. So guys, let me know in the comments down below. Are you going to do something like this yourself? It's 2025. It's, in my opinion, the perfect time to take a break, at least for a little bit, and hope that things get even better, because that's what I want to see. I want to see Raid have an incredible 2025, much better than their 2024. And I hope that the developers feel the same way. And this isn't to say that they don't work very hard. I'm sure they do. But I just wish they would prioritize their work in areas that made the game more enjoyable for everybody that already plays. So let me know what you think. Long rambling, I don't want to say rant here, but more of just kind of an observation of where I'm at in my Raid journey and why I'm taking a break. So for at least the month of January, 0 spend Drock, not a single cent. If you want to join me, you're welcome to. If you don't, no worries. I have zero illusion that most people will continue to spend. So this isn't like some kind of call to action, like, No Dime December was for JGigs last year. This is more of just me being like, hey, here's where I'm at. Here's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Hopefully it doesn't affect my content too much. And if you want to join me, you're welcome to. And again, we'll see how long it goes. At least January, maybe February too, heck, maybe March. We'll see if it actually has an impact. So guys, I just want to say, as we start 2025, thank you as always for the incredible support, the myriad amounts of positive comments and awesome constructive feedback that's left, and the participation in the Discord and everything else. I'll do a year in review video at some point, hopefully this week if I have time. But just want to take this moment at the end of the video to thank everyone for the incredible support that.
Okay. So listen, I agree with a lot of things he's saying. Some of the things I don't, but I would say 99% of the things I agree with. Honestly, guys, he's making a great point on everything. Did it in a way better style than I would. I would just be dropping F-bombs left and right, raging. Forget it. Forget it. It would be a hell of a video to edit all the F-bombs out, right? And maybe that's just me because I'm unfiltered, right? Or at least I try to be as unfiltered as possible. But I agree with what Drock is saying. You know, did No Dime December really have an impact? I don't feel like it did, because, you know, whether things seemed a little good after, we're back in the same situation, right? So myself, I will support Drock. I think he's, you know, he's not calling for the masses. He's not calling, you know, nobody spend, no, nothing like this. He's giving his honest opinion. He's giving his honest feelings of what he feels like. And this is what he feels is going to work the best. Myself, I agree. No spending. I'm going to go a step extra and not really worry about their analytics or trying to do his things as much as possible, which may set my account back or not. You know, I'm not going to engage with every single event. Because that's what I feel is going to kind of work the best. You guys let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What do you plan on doing? Is he right? Is he raging? Is he just, you know, who knows? And again, I'm sorry at picking like the worst possible stopping points for you, Drock. I feel like that's just a really good feature that anytime anybody does a reaction video to, we always have like the best times to just kind of pause, right? Guys, I guess let's see what 2025 will bring. We know what 2024 brought. I'm hoping we'll get better results in 2025. If you guys got some time, swing by on Sundays, 2 p.m. EST for the Knights of Teleria podcast, where we talk everything Raid Shadow Legends. We talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. We'll definitely be talking about this on the podcast on Sunday. We'll see what the other guys have to say. We'll see what you have to say during the live stream. And as always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other, and I'll catch you guys next time.